Zachary Taylor from day one always knew he wanted to be a soldier. It just so happened that was the road that led him to be our 12th president. Even though he moved around a lot and on top of that military, he didn't let that get in his way. He was serving so much he eventually earned the nickname Old Rough and Ready. He later made history in our world. Zachary Taylor had an easy life considering he didn't have to go to school. He was born on November 24th in 1784 in Virginia, USA. He moved around, so due to that, he was tutored with his friend every week. Zachary Taylor had 6 children total: Richard Taylor, Sarah Knox Beth, Mary Elizabeth Bliss, Anne McCall, Octavia Pennell, and Margaret Smith. And it just so happened they had one boy out of 6 children. Mr. and Mrs. Taylor had a lot on their hands. They rarely got to see each other as a family because of working in the military was colliding with family time. He also only had one other brother, Joseph Pennell Taylor. President Zachary Taylor had a difficult education between school and moving. This interfered with school. He also got held back for some time due to moving a lot. So his parents decided it would be best for him to be tutored by 2 individual teachers every week. President Zachary Taylor was a hard-working man. Between presidency and military, no one will ever know how he did it. Some people agree the only reason he became president at all was the victory of the Mexican War in 1812. He fought in 5 other wars. Zachary Taylor met the love of his life, Margaret, on June 21st in 1810. They made it official with a ring. Mrs. and Mr. Taylor had 6 children together. They were definitely in love. Millard Fillmore knew he had it hard going against Zachary Taylor. The election was held in 1818. He was in office on May 4th, 1849 to July 9th, 1850. It was a close race with Zachary Taylor at 163 electoral votes, leaving Millard Fillmore with 127 electoral votes. President Zachary Taylor left the presidency with very little accomplishments. He did bring up the topic of slavery, but people said he wasn't the right man for the operation. Also, he did make California the first state. In 1804, Zachary Taylor had 30 slaves, even though he was against slavery. He also didn't vote until he was 61 years old, but when he did vote, he voted for himself. The reason behind this was because he never lived in a stable house for a long enough period of time to be eligible. Zachary Taylor died of a natural cause. His death was caused by expired cherries and milk. President Zachary Taylor died on July 9th in 1850. He was buried in the National Cemetery in Kentucky. Leaving everyone speechless, Millard Fillmore was busy packing things to get ready to move into the White House. Zachary Taylor was related to our 10th president, who was known as John Tyler. It was said someone poisoned his food, which caused his death, but it was never proved. Zachary Taylor was a great military leader. You can obviously tell that when Zachary Taylor makes a goal, he will always try his best to succeed. With very little time spent with family and friends, I guess you could say Zachary Taylor was a success.